Happy July 5th. It is Free Advice Friday. It is 10 a.m. Eastern. I am here, even though I have a hammock that is desperately calling my name right now. I am here with you guys. Came into the office wearing my best Pee Wee Herman Loners and Rebels t-shirt. I realized when I got here this morning, I wasn't exactly dressed in the most professional style. But I love my Pee Wee Herman t-shirt, and so that's what I decided to wear today. All right, so I am checking Facebook Live. Those of you who are watching me on Facebook, it's good to see you. You may see my eyes go back and forth. That's just because I'm also seeing if there's any questions that are happening there. Great to see you all. So let's get started. For those of you who... oh, Liliana, how are you? It's good to see you. We will get to that in a second. For those of you who are new to Free Advice Friday, if you look down at the bottom, I think if you're a PC, it's at the bottom, and hover your mouse down there, a bar will pop up, and you will see a button that says Q&A. Q&A, that is where you put your questions. I would love it if those of you who might have questions to go to the Q&A box now and type in hi, hello. I just want to make sure you can hear me, that the sound is good. I always check before we get started. All right. I know there's a lot of you here. Come on. Can you guys hear me okay? All right. Just go to the Q&A. Okay, somebody can hear me. It's great. All right. Oh, Ellie, how are you? It's good to see you. Let's see, who do we have on today? We've got Denise and Jean. Jean, I want to talk about the question that you asked me. Ray, welcome from Germany. Stephen, Wendy, always good to see you too. All right. So, who's got questions for me today? We only have 2 questions that came in over email this week. I don't know if it's because it was a short week, but I am ready to hit you all up. So let's see. Denise is saying she tried to find last week's Free Advice Friday, but couldn't find it or the answers you mentioned you would post. Could you please let us know? Oh, guys, Free Advice Friday should be available on my website at newshelves.com. Let me make sure it's there. newshelves.com/FAF. It's also, the video should also be up on my YouTube channel. I have an assistant. Her name is Adriana. She is amazing. And she puts these up for me. You know what? It's not there. It's not there. Guys, I am so sorry. Denise, you're right. It should be up there. It doesn't look like the last couple have been posted. That is not Anna's fault. I'm sure it's something I did, but I will fix that and I will get them up today. Today before I leave, I will get those videos up. All right. All right. Let's go to the questions. We got a question from somebody who shall remain nameless because they're on the call today. And she was asking about a mailing. I'm just making sure there's nobody pinging in from Facebook. She was asking about a mailing that was being pitched to her. She would like to know if I thought it was a good idea to pay, I believe it was $800 to have her book taken to the Frankfurt Book Fair in October. There's companies that do this. They will put your book up at the Frankfurt Book Fair or the London Book Fair or Book Expo America or the American Library Association annual conference, and they will, for $300, $500, $800, depends on the company, depends on the event. They'll take a few copies of your book and they'll put it on a shelf at these conferences. And did I think that was a great idea, a good use of her $800? And here's my advice for all of you. No, I don't think it's a good use of your time. I have actually done this myself. I have actually taken clients' books to the London Book Fair. I've taken my clients' books to the Frankfurt Book Fair. But what I've done is I have gone with an agent and we've had meetings set up where I took a small group of my clients' books and we pitched them to editors, to agents, to publishers while at the fair. And that is very, very different than spending money to have your book put on a shelf with 300 other books where there's no meeting set up on your behalf. There's no one there to pitch your books. So it is not a great idea to spend money just to have your book on a shelf at the Frankfurt Book Fair or the London Book Fair or Book Expo America. The reason why I'm suggesting that you skip that process is because you won't be there. There will be nobody there to actually set meetings ahead of time or to pitch your book directly. Now, if you want to go to the Frankfurt Book Fair, have your book on display there at the book fair, and you spend a couple of hours before the fair, like 3-4 weeks before the fair, setting up meetings with editors, with agents, with publishers, and you use the booth as a meeting place to have these meetings, and you pitch your book aggressively while you're at the fair, that is a great use. $800 is a bargain if you can have a booth that you can sit at and use their table and meet people with and have your book on display, and that's terrific. But if you're not going to go, or if you don't have somebody who's going to specifically pitch your book, it's not a great use of your time. Do you guys see the difference between just having your book on a shelf? People are not going to just walk by and discover your book. That's not how it works at these fairs. All right. Bum, bum, bum. Let's see. Other questions. We've got a lot of questions coming up. Let's see. So Stephen is asking for suggestions for a virtual assistant to do any of the following: call libraries to carry the book, research places to speak, post on social media. Well, training is important. So if you have a virtual assistant who's going to be calling libraries, they need to either know how to approach libraries. They either have taken a course or they've done it enough that they know what the approach should be. That's one of the things I cover in my class, in the Real Fast Library class, is how to approach libraries. If you want to hire a VA just to get on the phone and call a couple hundred libraries a week to find out the name and the email address of their acquisition librarian for fiction or nonfiction, that's a great use of their time. A VA can do that easily, but so can a college kid. VAs charge $50-$60 an hour because VAs usually have a much higher level of skill set. They're usually very tech savvy. They do a lot with website. They quite often are copywriters as well. A VA does so much more than, just be a basic sales assistant, that you might want to consider hiring just a local college student or a younger cousin or someone to do basic calls. And the other thing is, a sales call is very different. A VA is not a salesperson. They don't like to sell any more than you do. So if you're going to have somebody call to pitch your books, you need to hire someone who doesn't mind making phone calls. And in my experience, very few VAs, they don't become virtual assistants because they love cold calling. So you have to find someone who's okay with that. Researching places to speak, you need someone who's really good on the internet. I have a young woman who works for me who, she's fabulous at research. She's so good at it. I wouldn't put her on the phone. That's two very different skill sets. The woman can find me 50 dental conventions in a few hours, and she can get me the contact information of real estate brokers in Nashville. The woman knows how to work Google, but I wouldn't put her on the phone calling people. So, Stephen, I guess my advice is different skill sets for different jobs. Posting on social media, that's easy. That is perfect. That is a perfect job for a VA. But do you want the VA to create cute little or attractive or professional, very clean looking pins and posts and Instagrams and artwork? Do they know Canva, and are they artistically inclined? That's a different sort of VA. Now, I have a woman, I've mentioned her before, Luana Rodham, who does a great job with posting on social media. But another woman that I absolutely adore, Lori Enos. Lori runs, I think it's called, oh dear, I forget the name of her company. But anyway, she does a lot of my Instagram and Pinterest stuff. She's fabulous at coming up with pins and posts and visuals. So different skill sets for different people. All right. Let's see other questions. Liliana's asking about, oh, guys, I have for $2.99, and it's only until tomorrow. Thank you, Liliana, for reminding me about it. I have a special going on for $299, and it's only until tomorrow. Then the price goes back up to $4.99. But for those of you who have done my library mailings or my bookstore or gift store mailings in the past, we have put together a major, we've lumped them all together, bookstores, gift stores, and chain stores like Barnes & Noble and Books A Million and Chapters Indigo in North America, guys. This is a North America thing only. But we are going to be sending out pitches over the months, the end of August, all the way through September. So for about 6 weeks, we're going to be doing multiple emails to children's book buyers, nonfiction buyers, fiction buyers for the holiday season. Believe it or not, July, August, September, that is when you want to get your books in front of the gift store buyers, the independent bookstores, and the chain store buyers. If anyone in your hometown is going to consider having your book on their shelf for the holiday season, now is the time to be thinking about it. Don't come in September or October and ask, how can I get my book into for the Christmas season? They've already decided by Halloween, it's over. So for those of you who are interested in my in being in one of these mailings, you can either email me at amy@newshelves.com, or if you're on my mailing list, make sure you join my mailing list, because I am sending out details about it today and tomorrow, because I'm it's an early bird special. And Liliana, I think that your book would absolutely be a great fit for the gift giving season. I adore your book. But as I think you know, Liliana, you in particular, you've had trouble with the wholesale market. So for those of you who are interested in getting into bookstores and gift stores, especially the chain stores, your book has to be available through Ingram or through Bookazine or America West, one of the big wholesalers. And it has to be at full discount. And so there you go. Let's see. Liliana has another question. She's working on her third book. She wants to make sure she does things right. The book is all right. So she wants to know about the size of books and how to pick your favorite size. Now, we've covered this before, but I love this question. Love this question. Liliana, the way to find out the right size for your book is to think of 5 books that are similar to yours. Not exactly the same. I know nothing's just like you, but there are some books that are in a similar genre. Books that if your book was to sit on a shelf at Barnes & Noble or your local independent or your local Hallmark store, anywhere, what are the books that would be sitting next to it? That's one of the questions. What books would sit next to yours on a store shelf? And then I want you to go look up and find out what the height and the width is. That is how to determine a trim size. You can figure out a page count and all of that by emulating and taking a look at what Workman and source books and what some of the best publishers out there are doing right now. Please do not make a decision, any of you, about height or width just based on what you want or what will make you the most money. You have to take a look at what the market is doing, because Random House and Simon & Schuster and Source Books, these guys are doing what the market is demanding. So you might as well use their research, you might as well use their expertise and all the money and time that they've spent doing studies to find out the best trim size, and you can just borrow their research by seeing what they're doing and copying it. Liliana, I don't have a favorite size. She's asking, I don't know. I truthfully, I haven't bought a paper book in years. I am an ebook girl. I don't have a favorite size. I'm obsessed with books. I read 3 or 4 books every week. I read at least 3 books a week minimum. But I have very few books in my house. You could fit all the books in my house on about 2 shelves, because I don't do paper. So everyone's different, I'm afraid. That is my, I'm sorry, I wish I could help, but I don't have a favorite book size. My favorite book size is this. This is my favorite book size right here. All right. All right, let's see if there's anything going on with with you guys and with on Facebook to see if there's any questions going on with Facebook, and then I will turn right back to the questions that you guys are doing. Wow, it is wild. I'm having trouble seeing Free Advice Friday live feed, but I will not worry about that. That will be tomorrow's problem. All right. So if you guys have any questions, and if you are watching this live on Facebook and you want to ask me questions and I can't see your questions, I am begging you to go to newshelves.com/FAF for Free Advice Friday. Newshelves.com/FAF, because if you go there, there'll be a big red button where you can sign up to join us live like everyone is doing here. They're asking me questions, and I am loving answering them. I'm having a little trouble, though, accessing it on Facebook. So I know you're watching, but if you're asking questions, join me here live on the Zoom feed. We'd love it. Stephen is asking about free places to promote a book. Okay, so here are some of the free ways that you can promote your book. It costs you nothing but time. My favorite way to promote a book for free is OPP, Other People's Platforms. There are, Stephen, you've got a book about paying for college. There are a million articles out there about for college kids and how to pay for college. So may I suggest you go find out where those articles are being posted and you pitch an article to those same places. Lots of times you can actually get paid 25 or 50 cents a word to write an article, and then you can promote your book at the end of it. So taking all of your advice and writing articles for some of the top magazines, writing articles for some of the top blogs, get your expertise, get the word out there on other platforms. Not only is that a free way to promote your book, you in many cases can get paid. For you, for a nonfiction author who's written a how-to book on something as helpful as paying for college, radio. Pitch yourself to radio. Podcasts. All of these things are free. It does not cost you anything to do a podcast. It takes a little bit of time to do a radio show or a podcast. Writing a top 10 list, a checklist, offering it to, you can also, for very low cost, you can do giveaways of your book online. Social media is fine, but social media now, when you I promote on social media all the time, but it's not free. When I try and say something to my list online, either on Facebook or Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, it reaches very few people. The only way it reaches a large group of people is when I pay for it. So if you're asking for free places to promote a book, magazines, newspapers, newsletters, websites, podcasts, radio stations, those are some of the free places to promote a book. All right, let's see some other questions. Ellie's asking about this free promotion question. What about Facebook groups that are set up for promotions? You can try it. It doesn't hurt anything. Here's my brief experience. I have tried those. And in my experience, they're filled with people who are just there to promote their own book. They don't actually usually do a lot to get the word out to people who might be interested in buying your book. But that is just my experience, that maybe I did it wrong. So I would never suggest that if somebody can do something with a small investment of time and not money, try it. Ellie, put your book out there on some of those free Facebook promotional groups and see if you get anything out of it. I love that idea. When I tried it, I did not. I did not have a lot of luck. And when I go there, what I see is a whole bunch of publishers and authors talking to each other, and they're not actually promoting their book outside of that group. Lillian is asking if, again, my gift and bookstore mailing, if it's not appropriate for her if she's not on Ingram. That's right. If you guys are not in a wholesaler like Ingram, it will not work. Do not sign up. It's a great deal. I know it's a great deal. You can get in front of thousands of buyers, but it would just be a total waste of your money. Anyone who signs up who's not at Ingram or Bookazine or America West or one of the wholesalers, we turn around and give them their money back. because it would be a waste of your money. And my mother likes me, and I want to be able to look her in the eye. And I can't do that if I take your money, knowing that bookstores and gift stores aren't going to buy directly from you guys. They want to buy from a wholesaler. All right. Stephen is asking about book fairs or events I'd recommend. Great question. I actually have a list on my blog I have 2 lists on my blog. One is, it's the full 2019 calendar year of professional conferences. And Stephen, for a book like yours, you need to go to newshelves.com/blog and just scroll down. I posted it it was probably about a month or 2 ago. But there, you can use the search bar and just look for conference. But on my blog, I have a complete list of the 2019 professional conferences that I think it's a great resource. I compiled that with the woman I said who I hire, who does great research. I compiled that with her help. So book fairs or events that I would recommend, it depends on the author. For someone like you, Stephen, I would recommend going to places where a bunch of high schoolers hang out, or their parents. So it may not be a book fair. For you, it would probably be more of like a college fair, promoting, setting up a booth at a large university fair, or a place where, all the colleges get together and they've got a whole bunch of interviews. There's college fairs going on all the time, especially in some of the larger urban areas. That would be a great bang for your buck. And it would make a lot more sense, I believe, than going to a book fair. I know that you have a book, and Steve, but your book is about paying for college. It's not a novel. You need to stop thinking about yourself so much as an author and think of yourself more as an expert, and start putting yourself and pitching yourself at places where your expertise will be most needed. And that's my advice to you. All right, let's see other questions. We got another question this week about somebody who wants to promote their ebook of poems. They've got a poetry book and they're curious how to promote poems. And I've gotten this question a number of times. I'm always happy to answer it. Instagram, and a little bit of Twitter. And Instagram with a Twitter sidecar, Twitter chaser. That's what I would recommend. Putting your poems, especially the shorter ones, or a few powerful lines from one of your longer poems, onto a visual, either a picture or a colorful background, and posting on Twitter and posting on Instagram, and try and inspire and delight people with your words over and over and over again. Ray, this would also work for you. I love the stuff you've written. You've got amazing insights. See if you can boil them down to just a few words that'll fit on a pin or on an Instagram post. Throw them on a colorful background that'll catch the eye, something with a beautiful thistle or something, and throw them up there on social media. And then boost the posts. Start advertising them. Start boosting a little bit, because your Instagram, your Twitter posts, they only, they're gonna fly through the feed. And if somebody's not looking at Twitter or Instagram at that moment, they may not see it. And so post it a few times, get several of these going, and then pay to have them boosted. Use stories on Instagram. Stories is a great way to keep your poem or your lines up at the top of the feed for 24 hours. Post them on Facebook. Facebook also makes sense. Create lots of visual, beautiful images in and around your poems and in and around lines from your poems, and start sharing on social media. It is what's working for other people. I don't say it's going to work for you. Not everybody's going to be successful with this, but work on it. Work on it. Work on it. Ray is saying she can't find the link for the gift offering I just discussed. I know you can't. So why don't I drop it in the chat box? Because it is not easy to find, because it is a special, early bird special that I was just offering to my list. But you guys are on Free Advice Friday, so I can send it to you as well. Let me drop it in the chat box. And while I'm looking it up, I will keep answering questions. So thank you very much, guys, for asking about this this special. It would be my honor to represent your books to the bookstores and to the bookstores and to the gift stores and the chain stores. Let's see. Bum, bum, bum. Campaign preview. There we go. All right. Are you guys bored yet? I'm kind of bored. All right. Next question. Liliana is asking about what is the first step in preparing her book for publishing. In preparing the book, okay, well, the first step is to get it edited. Make sure that you get it edited. And once it's edited, you need to lay out and design the book. Let me drop this. Guys, I'm dropping into the chat box the link to the special if you want it. Liliana, the first step in preparing a book for self-publishing is the same steps that any book that's being published. You get it edited. And then after you get it edited, you get it copy edited, a line edit, someone who corrects grammar. The first step is somebody edits your book for content, and then they edit it for grammar and spelling and do a line edit. Then you lay it out. Either you lay it out or you hire someone to lay it out and design it. Get the cover done. Write the back cover copy. Have you bought your ISBNs? You have to own your own ISBNs. Are they under your own publishing house? If you're going to self-publish, you're self-publishing. That means you're doing all the work yourself. Register the ISBNs with Bowker if you're in the US. After that, and after everything's laid out and designed, you have to get it proofread. And because there will be mistakes that will have been introduced during the design I mean, even the best people make mistakes. So then you need it proofread. Then you need the designer to make all those changes again. There's so much that has to happen for this book to be done properly. But once you have the final files, you upload it to KDP on Amazon, and then you upload it to Ingram Spark for print on demand. If your book is a 4-color, book with a lot of pages, print on demand probably won't work. So then you have to find a printer to print your books, but then you need to find a fulfillment house to get into all the wholesalers and to get into all the databases. So that is a brief rundown. Now, for those of you who are curious, I offer a totally free checklist on my website, newshelves.com/store. And you can go there and get a publisher checklist. And Liliana, I would suggest you go there. It's a long list of things of what to do in what order if you're going to self-publish a book. And you just go there. There's a number of things there for sale. Skip over those. Just go right to the free publisher checklist. It doesn't cost anything to download it. Denise, of course you can sign up, even though your book won't be ready till the end of July, because we're not actually doing the mailing until August, end of August. We're doing it in August and September. Go to that link, and you would be absolutely welcome. Please sign up because we are going to be shutting it down tonight. So that's great. All right, more questions. Stephen wants to know what I consider essential book marketing materials when pitching a book. Oh, I can definitely tell you what those are. I actually have recently done an interview with Laura Byrne about materials that I'm going to be putting up on my YouTube channel soon as part of my Bestseller Builders program. But what I would recommend, and let me look real quick, I've got some materials here I'd love to share with you, and I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see the materials. Yeah, Dun, dun, dun. And I know this is boring. Just hold on. You're going to love these materials, I promise. Clients, Ginsburg. Let me show you one that we just did for Ginsburg. All right, let me show you something that for those of you who are interested. Now, we did this. There is a piece of software called Canva, C-A-N-V-A. Canva. And if you guys look at your screen, you should see right now a sheet that we did for Phyllis Ginsburg. You guys can go to Canva, Canva.com anytime, and you can create your own sheets. So this is one example of something that we did. This is a sheet about the author as an expert. But we also do marketing sheets for people. Let's see. Kelly Warner. Let's see if we've got a marketing sheet. Here it is. Here is a sheet that we did for Kelly Warner. And let me start sharing that. Here is another example. Again, canva.com. Now this is a novel. This is very different. But it was her marketing plan. It had information. So Stephen, to answer your questions, you need a sheet about the author, especially for a book, a nonfiction book like yours. You definitely need a sheet about the author. And you need a sheet about the book, and it needs to be beautiful. And again, you can go to canva.com and do a lot of good there. It's a very easy program to use. We highly recommend it. All right, let's see if there's any other questions. Let's see. I am looking. Stephen wants to know about places to promote a 99-cent or free book to drive sales to Amazon and Barnes & Noble. And Kobo. Don't forget about Kobo or Apple, iBooks. Stephen, the best place to do that promotion is BookBub. BookBub is BookBub. You can't do better than BookBub. BookBub.com. There are other sites that I like. Rebecca Reed's is a good one. There's a few others, but BookBub is by far the best. And you, in my experience, I'm not talking about advertising on BookBub, but applying for a listing, getting your book down to 99 cents or free, and then applying to BookBub and telling them that you're going to do this. You set a time. Your book's at $7.99 or $8.99 as an ebook, but you apply to BookBub and you tell them you're going to be dropping the price to 99 cents, and that yes, you're very flexible. That if they will give you a date, you'll do it then, and then you use them. There's eReadsy, there's lots of others, but I'll try and pull together a list. I will pull together a list for next week, but BookBub is my favorite. Let's see. Yes, these mailings, guys, we do them at least 3 times a year. So if you don't want to do the one for holidays, that's fine. You are more than welcome to join the next one. Stephen, I'm sorry I don't have a list on the top of my head of some of the other sites where to do a 99-cent ebook other than BookBub, which is stuck in my head right now. But I will find that list and I will post it. All right. Let's see if there's any other questions. We talked about materials, free places to promote, how to pitch to speak, using VAs. I will get those videos up on my website today, guys, today. But I would also like to recommend that if you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel, because they are up on YouTube, I did check. And I'm sorry they're not on my website. That's all me. I'm not blaming anyone but me. I should have looked. But youtube.com/Amy Collins. youtube.com/Amy Collins. You can catch all of these every week. That's it. I don't see any other questions. I'm thrilled to see you guys. I am going to post Free Advice Fridays up on my website before I go home, and then I'm going to be answering emails from the comfort of my hammock. I will be drinking a Diet Coke in your honor. I will be laying on a hammock. I will be around today, but I'm going to kind of hybrid work and relax as we reach into the long weekend. It was wonderful seeing you all, and I will see you next week right back here on Free Advice Friday. Please go to newshelves.com/FAF for replays, which I will put up. And if you're watching this live somewhere else, or if you're watching this as a replay and you'd like to join us live and ask questions, we'd love to have you. Thanks. Bye-bye.